Hey, greetings YouTube. Performance reviews where I give you the review from the technician's point of view. And today I want to talk about Miele maintenance because it's pretty important. And if you just bought a Miele, this is going to be kind of a guide on what's what and what some of these things are, because there are some things that are very confusing because these are sold in so many different countries, so many different languages. And let's be honest, right now Miele makes like 30 different models. And they've been doing that at any given time for, at least in North America, we've been, I'd say, past 35 years. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of different versions out there. Today's focus is going to be primarily on canisters, though I will roll in some footage of uprights as well. They basically make one upright currently. I want to explain like the lifespan of a Miele. Now this machine here is from 1994, and it's a Miele 300 series. Long time ago, not made. Really the only thing this has had done to it, and you can see here, is it's had a new lid at some point put on it. That's about it. Other than that, it runs just fine. What I want to show you is that it's super clean inside, and this is what your Miele should look like inside. Is it should look super clean if the machine's been maintained properly. Now, the bags, I really recommend that you only use Genuine bags. I have a whole video on this, and I'll put a link to that, what happens if you don't. But basically, that will be the end of your vacuum. These bags are pretty special, not only in how fine of the dust they capture, but how much airflow that they allow. And there's basically two different versions of the bags, and you can tell there's a red and a blue version. The red is known as FJM, the blue is known as GN, and then green for the upright is known as U. And you will see, no matter what the Miele, let's get a newer one here. Put it side by side. So I have here a newer Miele. We see it takes the same bag, and we can see right here the dock is red and it says M. So we know this is an FJM machine. So that's how you know how to buy bags. And every time you open a Miele, there's something really important you need to do, which is always reseat the bag. Never just open and close. Don't do that because they pull the bag out, just like so. So keep that in mind. Anytime you open it, you always want to just push and reseat the bag. Now there are numerous types of filters, but they basically can be broken down again to a couple different styles. This is your newer premium style filter. This is known as the AH50 style, and its distinctive is it's got 4 locking tabs, where the older style, again, these look exactly like, have 3 locking tabs, and you can see the tab is slightly different on front, along with the gasket design is on the side rather than on the bottom. So keep that in mind. There are 2 different styles. Now I'll put a link below, but you can actually buy the bags and filters bundled together. That's the best way to get them as of 2020. Now when you go through 4 of these, or a box of bags, you will replace this guy. This is the pre-motor filter, and what this does is it catches the fuzzies the bag shed, because the bags are made out of recycled plastic, so they actually shed a little bit of fuzzies, which are white. You really won't tell that they're in there, but they do land in there. Or if for some reason this bag were to rip or break, this saves the machine. Now, if for some reason your bag in your machine, or your machine isn't clean like it is on the inside, it needs to be cleaned out. You know, if you just accidentally ran it for 5 minutes, it's probably fine. But if you ran it for an extended period of time, there's a large amount of dust, and you see dust and dirt on the side in here, then the machine needs to be taken to a repair shop and completely broken down, washed, and serviced. And I'll put a link to the authorized Miele dealers down there. So that's kind of the bags, where those go. We're going to talk about all the different types of filters there are for your Miele vacuum, because there are multiple different options. Now, if you have a legacy Miele, some of these options won't be available to you. And by legacy Miele, I mean older than 15 or 20 years. This is probably the most confusing one, so we'll start with it first. This is the Air Clean filter. And this is a pad that you get with your vacuum bags. This is for a budget machine or somebody who's not concerned with allergies, but just wants the most basic filtration option offered by Miele. Now, with a lot of their machines, you do have to purchase this grill separately, which you'll have to go to a dealer to find. These aren't widely available online. But your machine may have come with this combo, which you change every box of bags or 4 bags. Now, if you don't have this in your vacuum, you will probably have one of the HEPA or the charcoal options that are more common today. The HEPA should be changed every 50 working hours, and we'll have a reminder here to help you with that. Certain premium models also have a light. This filter is the best Miele has to offer and deals with allergies and asthma. Really fine HEPA style 13 filter. And you can go to Wikipedia if you want, and there's a great explanation of the different styles of HEPA filters. The other option they include on their cat and dog models are these charcoal filters. And these, again, you change them every 50 hours or a year, whichever comes first. And these just neutralize odors plus the basic filtration here. So it's kind of an in-between filter, not as common. You cannot get these in combination with the bags right now, unfortunately. So that's the charcoal filters. Those are your options in terms of filtration with your Miele, and you always use a pre-motor filter, no matter what model. Now, when do we change our bag? That's something that's really confusing for a lot of people. I wanted to mention that this information also applies to their upright line of vacuums. There's only one type of vacuum bag for their uprights. It's the style U. But keep in mind, you still fill it up like a pillow. It still takes the AH30 filter, so all this information is also valid for the uprights. So how to know when your bag's full? Well, you have an indicator that lets you know when the bag is full. It's not a light, it's just a gauge, and it's orange, so keep that in mind. So when the bag gets all the way full, it will look something like this. Most of the time, though, when the bag is full, it will be something of the sort. Quick note, the full bag check indicator does not work when you have attachments attached. When the bag is full, it should look something like this. It should be puffed out, kind of like a pillow, pretty dense. Now, some people will try to put laundry sheets in their machine somewhere. While you can suck these up through the bag, if they're on the floor, that's not a problem. Do not attempt to put this anywhere in the machine. This will hurt the machine, restrict airflow, and if you put it, say, here, you'll actually destroy the windings on the motor. This stuff is extremely corrosive to electrical components. As far as shutting and opening your Miele, again, always reseat your bag. Very, very simple. If your Miele is having trouble shutting, it is either because the bag dock is not properly in place or there is no vacuum bag in place. And that, again, spans between all models of their vacuum cleaners. Those are my tips as a technician on keeping your Miele vacuum up and running for years to come. Typically, they're designed to last 1,000 working hours. So let me just go through it again. Buy genuine bags, change your filter once a year. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing, checking us out on one of our other publishers here, and have yourself a wonderful day.